Sul Sul Fellow Simmers, I hope you guys are doing great today. I am, and I'm gonna just do a quick little eviction notice here. One second here. Excuse me, Mr. Hardy, Sheriff's Office. We're gonna be building on Brooks Bridge Borough. It is now gone, and we're going to be building a little shady, witchy nature cottage. It's not a traditional cottage. It's definitely a little more modern styled at the end of it, but I think it comes together quite nicely. And I think you will enjoy it. This is how I do basements. I think you're supposed to do basements like this, maybe, but I don't know. I like to just do it from the top and then figure it out. But I think it does work quite well, especially once you see the space all together with the stairs. And I like putting the stairs here and right next to each other, so that way, you know, you have a little area. It's a stair area. And then I always put little fences when I can for any like drop-offs that might be happening for the stairs. I don't want anyone to be falling down them. That would be quite bad. So we add a little bit of nature on the inside, and this goes with the theme later. I think y'all will see. Put a little door here. I love this door. I don't remember which pack exactly it's from, but it's one of my favorites. A little bit of a foundation. Kind of bring it up just off the ground a bit, add in some nice little mossy stairs, and then tie in the outdoor and indoor banisters and stairs together, and now make terrible choices. Yes. Oh, look at how horrible it is. And finally, we do a much better half gable. I should have shrunk the roof sizes a little bit, but I actually don't end up hating them, especially once I put the trim and extend the trim a bit. I think it looks quite well. Yes, columns. I do so love columns so much. No, I really do love columns. I put on too many columns. And I always do this with my columns. I put them, I try to measure them, everything looks good, I'll add another one, and then I'll put on my finishing touch. Yippee. It just all shrinks them all back down to the same height. I will do this until the end of time. Now we start going for some windows. We're not going to do a whole bunch of windows right at this second. We'll do a little bit on the front to kind of keep my theming in mind. Do some bay window. Yes, because we have an excellent little spot here. I am a sucker for a bay window. Trying to figure out what'll look good here. I don't want it to be too bright, too dark, too much of anything. I want it to have contrast, but not so much contrast that that's all you see. I like these little archways. I find that opening up those areas makes it feel a little bit more not so cozy and like trapped. It makes it a little bit bigger. Yes, and then I use the moss roof texture. I do think it actually looks quite good. So, this is how I do pathing. I don't know if it's a good way to do pathing, but I like that little funnel entrance, kind of. Just do it once. Just do it once, and you won't have to do it again. Yeah, my cousin taught me this for a landscaping trick, to make it look like the flowers are actually, like, mulched and stuff. She's pretty cool. She did a good job teaching me some basic stuff. She didn't teach me this, though. Nobody taught me this. Nobody taught me the terrain tool, and I don't think anyone can. I just do my best with it. I have built a lot of ponds in my time. I like ponds. Sometimes I just I'll put some different features down, and then I'll just kind of see how they all fit. And I love these reeds. I usually actually size them up a little bit, but this one, my one problem with it is that there's only like certain angles that are good. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, particularly with landscaping objects, there's like certain angles that the things are good from. And then a good ball fountain to bring some life to the water. Who can resist a good ball fountain? Some fish, some dragonflies, love dragonflies, some tadpoles to go behind the mama frog, and then I make a mistake here. I put in too many swans. It's too many swans. each of those has 2 swans on them. Each tile of swan you put down has 2 swans. So I end up with 4, and I only wanted 2. So back into the terrain paint. We're gonna try clean it up a little bit, and then I get overzealous and immediately go for another pond. You see this little thing? That little like fake pond thingy with the leaves? I found that is an amazing tool for terrain. You may not think it when you look at it, but it really does. You can see what it's level on, like what the level floor is, and then it'll jut out over the side quite well, but it doesn't react as a clipping object, so it's not going to give you problems to paint around. I quite like it. So you can see where like it's going to the highest point, and then you can kind of like go from there and see where the edges are at. I wanted to clean this pond up a little bit. I did want to keep it looking natural, but I wanted you to be able to walk beside it. However, like my thought process in mind was like this might be a little like swampy area. So this could be like, you know, the area along the drive that all the water collects, and now it's formed like a small little pond and it's covered in leaves. Now we're gonna go in with some outdoor landscaping, especially under that bay window. We're not gonna do like, it's gonna look like a lot when we're done, but it's not gonna actually be a lot. Like this is only gonna be, I can't even remember, like, I think I use only like maybe maximum 10 different plants for this entire landscaping build. But I use them strategically, shall we say. I'm a sucker for a good lined path, if I can, especially like a grand entrance. That pond, that little mini fake pond, has nowhere to go right now, so it's just gonna stay over there. I really actually should have put like maybe 1 or 2 more of those trees. I really could not decide where to put this one. I end up putting it, like, you'll see in a second, but where I end up putting it, at first I was like, this is so dumb, and then after that I was like, oh wow, this actually looks pretty fire. So I left it there. Now that tree, that one from the Love Struck pack, I'm pretty sure that is, I have to tell you, no wait, I think that actually might be from For Rent, believe it or not. That might be actually from For Rent. But either way, that tree, I love that tree as a whole. However, it itself does not have any individually good sides. So you just have to make it look the best it can. I love those little rose hedges. And that's the part I'm talking about. I want this house to feel natural, like you are part of nature. So that's why I actually do not mind the clipping of these roses from these hedges. Because then I try to also filter or fit it with the wallpapers. So here you can see I'm kind of testing a couple of different wallpaper slabs. And then downstairs in the basements, I always like to make my basements feel heavy. Like they're the foundation. They are down there. They're damp, they're cold, but they're also cozy. So we're not going to add in the florals there. We'll tie in the stone from the upstairs down into there. I made a very big mistake. I should not have used stone here. Or at least I shouldn't have used the stone that I end up using, which is just the stone I use for everything else, almost. Or like a similar stone to what I was using for everything else. I actually really like the hardwood, the red, like, cherry hardwood a lot better. But it's okay. Such is life. Now we're gonna go in with some more windows, and then you're gonna laugh probably at my window process, but this is how I do them. I will slap a bunch of windows, see what I think works and looks good, and then from there I'll kind of pick them clean and reorganize them to see where exactly I like them. Window, 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 and window, 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 window. Didn't like the window there. Window. Wait. Nope. Take them all down. Okay. Shift that one there. Pull that one there. Pull this one over here. Yes. Much better. Nope. This side's got too many now. So we'll take that down. Put up the smaller one. And, yeah. There we go. That's how I do it. I try to kind of think about how I want to set things up on the inside and, like, how the windows will work with those. But I'll kind of go for a minimal less is more, and then work from there. Wanted to put a little seating area, a little bench out there. It's a beautiful place if you have the Love Struck pack to just kind of sit, and then added some more like witchy nature, just kind of basic things. I didn't want to add a lot of activities, like overarching activities and make this like a big thing. I wanted it to be able to stay kind of cheap. It's only about 25,800 simoleons, I think, if I recall uploading it to the gallery. But my vision for it was that it be like a small fairy or witch house, and they start selling their apothecary stuff from the little stall that they have outside, and they've found all this stuff around them, and they've been building it up, and then they turn their, one of their sections of their house into a little storefront, and they just grow from there. But as it's come together, I think it's a little bit less that and more of a, this is like the house, that weird cottage house way down the road. But so this is how I do some of my like wild landscaping. I love using the terrain paint tool for this, but I kind of like dot everything. I'm not gonna like do like a long drag of anything when it comes to terrain paint, because it's gonna mess with you a lot more. But you'll see why I do this kind of like dippling style, because I use it for everything. I even do it for when I erase stuff. I even use that kind of like dippling, a little bit of holding it down, but I do it all to blend it and smooth it. And now you can see it kind of all looks like it's a natural grass area in front of a yard. It's not treated. It definitely doesn't have chemicals, or it's not uniform and perfect. But then over here we have our second little pond area. Again, I'm a sucker for ponds, but I didn't spend too much time on this one. I wanted it to look good, and it functions, and it's fun for the Sims to splash in. A couple of lights, some fountains, and it looks good. We got a two pond building. So we're gonna put great soil, homey, and peace and quiet on for the lot traits. Definitely make it like your escape from nature. And it's named Shady Cottage Shell. It is uploaded to the gallery. It took a couple tries because the gallery did not like me, but it is loaded up for Shady Cottage Shell, and you can always go ahead and look up any of my creations at AJWSYDNOR. And actually, I can't remember if it's with the W or not. I'll put it on screen. But you can always go look it up there and find it there, or you can type in Shady Cottage Shell. Those are two, I think, fairly easy ways if you'd like to check out the shell and maybe, do however you'd like with it. I left the bedrooms and the bath open. I didn't know if you wanted, it can be used for a lot of things. But let's go ahead and take the tour, shall we? This is my sim, who she's a remake of a different sim that I made a while ago. And this is Scarlett Lahair, and she is just moving in here. She's heard stories about this old mansion or this old cottage, not mansion. It's a mansion to her, it's a cottage to everyone else. And she's just like so excited. She just got the keys. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. You have no idea. This nature is exactly what she wanted. Yeah. And she's gonna start a little apothecary stall. She's gonna have a great time here. So let's go inside and let's see. Right by the butterfly cage. I suck at free cam, so this is the Sims 3 camera, just FYI. And you can see where, like, okay, yeah, it's definitely clipping a little bit, but it does also blend. Like, it blends with the florals, it blends with the wallpaper. It's going to not be overpowering, and I don't think it should really affect your gameplay, honestly, in any way, because I tried setting some objects down and they worked just fine even with the clipping down there. Again, I prefer this top room. I really, really love the way that the red hardwood flooring looks with this wallpaper. I should have put a ceiling on. I did not. Ceilings and we fight, and we'll leave it at that. So I think it came out pretty well. I think it's got enough space for your activities, not necessarily a growing family per se, but it's got space for activities, it's got space for making your crafts, and this is this area that I actually thought would be a really cute little bedroom, like a bedroom vibe, like den basement bedroom. I think it'd be really cute. And then you can put some stuff down to the right, maybe add in a little bathroom down there, but it just, that is your Sims hangout down there. So, I appreciate you guys coming with me to see this build, and I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope that y'all can find some fun ways to play with it. Maybe have your own Sims move in, make it your own. I I don't know. Um, I think maybe 2 columns right there wasn't so great, and an extra swan too many. Maybe I could have changed up some more of the lamps on the fountains in that second pond, but you know what? Overall, I think it looks really good. In fact, I really like the way that it sits from the street, and I really, really like the way it sits on the map. So I'll show you that here now. And other than that, that's the build. I hope you guys enjoyed this speed build. If you like content like this, and if you like hearing about news and anything Sims 4 related, I hope you'll take a minute to like and subscribe. I do a lot of this stuff, not every day, but pretty much every other day I release something. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day. I hope you had a really good Martin Luther King Day. I got to experience my 8-year-old coming to terms with civil rights stuff yesterday, so that was very interesting. He's still pretty confused about history, and I can't blame him. But other than that, like I said, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one. AJ out.